Hi, I'm Rob with Psych for Life. In this video, we talk with Jim Hutchison about some of the significant challenges he faces with family businesses and what made him choose psychology. The transition of a family business is difficult because a lot of people don't have necessarily the same passion or vision for the launch of the company to keep that going down the line. Is it something that you see more difficulty with people not understanding the vision of the company, or is it more of like infighting or greed, or what would be maybe one of the big challenges you see?
Well, there's a lot of challenges. It's not one or two things. Businesses that do not succeed in their own unique way, but they all have in common that we didn't succeed. Mm-hmm. And the challenges that you most frequently see are just what you mentioned. Some people are interested in the business, others are not, and then it becomes this kind of psychology game of, well, I could have done that. Well, but you didn't do that. And so there are many challenges about the family dynamics and family relationships and owner relationships and who gets paid what, and how did you get your job and I didn't get that job and that's not fair to me. And so all these things play into it, which if there is one background that is maybe most helpful in this field of family business or consulting to family-owned, family-managed companies, it would be background in psychology, and certainly communication helps. Mm-hmm.
Because it seems like everything boils down to you're dealing with people. When you remove all the money and the budgets and the products and all of that, you're dealing with the challenges that people face every single day, but just maybe on a larger scale. So do you mind sharing why you chose psychology as a degree when you were an undergraduate?
Well, let's think about that. It kind of chose me. Uh-huh. And I think that I think it was narrowed down because I wanted a liberal arts education. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to come to Arizona State. And so it became, what in there really interests me and the passion. And I had, in my senior thesis in high school, I was an intern under a psychologist, a behavioral psychologist. And he really paved the way for me. Back then, behavior modification with Skinner, and mm-hmm. that was a big deal. It was in its moment of, greatest awareness, I think, back then. And so that was in the back of my mind. But the liberal arts education and psychology, maybe in particular. I graduated with my first degree in psychology, mm-hmm. and only upon checkout was the nice lady, going through the process with me, checking me out, said, you only have to take 6 more hours and you can have a second degree in sociology. I said, fantastic, I'll get a second degree. So I ended up with 2 degrees. Uh-huh. One of them was not intentional, the other one was very intentional. Uh-huh. And my memories of ASU back then, which was quite a while ago, the psych department, it was, these guys were, I remember going to some of my professors' homes for Friday night discussions and, party, if you can say that correctly. It wasn't, a bash. It was more like 10 or 12 people would go to his house and we'd talk about things. I had a chance to proctor in statistics. And I felt like there were a handful of professors at ASU that were not just professors. Mm-hmm. The relationship was really as though I was at a much, much smaller school, mm-hmm. and where you spend time with your, professors off campus and such like that. So it was a great experience.
Thanks for joining us. Watch the next video to learn about how Jim chose to go into business and what he did right after college.